Hi kindergartners, it's time for our third video of drawing shapes. We have a series of shape drawings. The first week was squares and rectangles, we did robots. The second week was triangles and we did a friendly shark. And today we're going to use circles and we're going to draw ladybugs, right? Here you can see a sample of our ladybugs and we're going to draw them using circles. Now, I'm going to use my computer because it's a little easier, but you're going to use a regular piece of paper and crayons, right? And start with a black crayon to draw our ladybugs. So let's get into it. Okay, so now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our crayon and we're going to draw our first circle. So our first ladybug is going to be right about here. Circles are kind of hard to draw when you're learning. So just try your best. If your circle isn't perfect, it's okay. There. So I drew a big circle there. That's going to be the body of, you can kind of see where that's going. That's going to be his body there. Okay, I probably could have made it bigger, but that's okay. Then he's going to have a head. Oh man, I made that too small. Okay, whatever. Then I have another big circle over here. That's for the other ladybug. Okay. I should probably slow down. If I'm going too fast, your parents can pause the video and you can just try to draw that shape and then you can move on. Some of you are kind of fast, so you're like, you can do it. But yeah, I'll try to slow down a little bit. Now I need to have another circle for his head. So let's see, here it is. I'm gonna make that one a little bigger so I can fit some stuff in there. Now what we need to do is, we're using circles, right? But there is going to be a triangle. So there's a little triangle that divides his wings. It's almost like a line, but watch, it's going to go line here. So a very thin triangle, and that will make his circle body look like wings, because his wings are shaped round like that, and they kind of look like that. So just a simple triangle like that will look good. And you can even fill it in black. So you can fill this part in black with your black crayon. And that looks pretty good. Okay, and I'm going to do another triangle over here for this guy. So here we go. Triangle. All right, that was easy. Now, I didn't draw his face big enough, but we need to draw eyes. So we gotta draw a circle in here. I'm gonna try, you wanna draw them as big as possible because that way you can see his eyes, right? And I'm gonna draw big circles here for his eyes, bigger than you think. Okay. Now, you may not have room for his teeth. Like this guy, here, I'll show you. If you have lots of room for your teeth, you can go like this. You can draw a smile like this, right? So that could be his smile, like right above, like right underneath his eyes. And then you can draw a couple lines for the teeth, so like that. Now this guy, I don't have a lot of room for his mouth, his smile. So what I can do is I can just draw it underneath like this, like a smiley face underneath. That kind of made his face a little bigger. So I don't care how you do it, as long as you do it. Try your best. It's kind of hard to draw these things. And then you want to draw some lines for his teeth. Okay, now we want to draw the black part of their eyeballs, their pupils. And now these ladybugs are friends, so they're kind of looking at each other. So normally you draw the dot in the center, but we kind of want to draw it on the side. So like this ladybug, his dot is near the side of his eye because he's looking this way at that ladybug because that's his buddy. And then here's another one. So he's kind of looking that way, right? If I did it in the center, he would just be kind of looking anywhere. That's kind of hard to do. So if it doesn't work out perfectly, don't worry about it. Just try your best. Now this ladybug, he is looking at his friend over here. So he's kind of like looking this way, right? He's looking that way. And then this other eye, the other dot, is kind of on this side. It's on that side. So he's kind of looking, so they're both looking at each other because they're friends, right? Okay. That wasn't so bad. Now what we need to do is we want to, before we draw some dots, we're going to run out of room for those dots. We want to draw their antennae. They got these like spirals for antennae, or antennae. I don't know. It's a curl. It's like a swirl. So watch. I'm gonna go. This is hard, but you're gonna go do, and it kind of curls in a little bit. Kind of like a. It kind of looks like an upside down 6. Or if I go this way, it's kind of like a curvy P. I don't know. It's a curl. Whatever. But you want to draw that. So draw that line. That's like his antenna. And then this guy, he has one too. So it's kind of hard. There. So I kind of curl it around. It's like a spiral. We've done spirals in class, but sometimes it's hard to do, especially if they're small like that. Okay, pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. Before we move on to the spots and the legs, let's you can fill in this part of his face with your crayon. So you just fill this in. Let's see here. I'm gonna fill in his face. I'm gonna fill in his face. Yeah. All right. All right, now we need some spots. So how many spots do you need to draw? Well, as many as you want and as many as you can fit. You probably don't want to do too many. Like I'm going to draw one here maybe. It's up to you. I'm going to draw one here. You don't want to draw too many. Now watch this trick that I'm about to do. I'm going to draw half of a dot. Watch, like this. Half. It's on the edge. If you're on the edge, you can draw half of a dot. And you're like, how come? It's because it's bending. The ladybug body is kind of bending, and you can't see the full circle if it's on the edge. And so that's kind of a fun trick to do to draw if you want. So you can draw a couple dots. Here, I'll draw one over here. It's on the edge. It's on the edge of the circle, and it's half of a dot. That's because the other half is hidden. It's turned away from our vision, from what we can see. So that's kind of neat. That's a neat artistic trick. I want to do one right over here too. I got one. So here, half. But if it's on the center of your ladybug, you just draw a full dot, full circle, right? So circle. You might run out of room. Circle. You might want to try to put one here. Circle. I'm going to do another half dot here. It's up to you. You just put your dots. I'm going to put a full dot here. I leave it up to you. Maybe I'll put a half dot here. There. So I think I have enough dots. I'll leave it up to you to put your dots on your ladybugs. Now, ladybugs. I think ladybugs have 6 legs. I don't know. Your parents can Google it, right? But anyways, let's draw some legs. So I'm going to go 1. These kind of go forward, so it's like, yay, like those are kind of like his arms almost. And then he's got some back legs kind of coming out the back. They kind of go the other way. And then he has legs in the middle, like he'll have a leg here and a leg here. But I'll give you a chance to get caught up. So I got a leg here and a leg here. So that's pretty good. This guy, on my sample, I didn't draw. He only has 5 legs, but I meant to draw 6. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's pretty good. Awesome. So we drew our ladybugs. Notice that my ladybugs are on leaves, but I didn't use my black crayon to draw the leaves. And you're probably thinking, how come, Mr. Smith? Well, because I want your attention to be more on the ladybugs than the leaves. The leaves are in the background, and they don't matter as much as the ladybugs. The ladybugs are the focus, or the part that we're most interested in this drawing. So I'm not going to use a black line on my leaves. That might be distracting. You're like, okay, whatever, Mr. Smith. Yeah, I know. But that's an art thing. Okay, you're learning about art. Now we want to color our ladybugs. So we're going to use red for the bodies and green for the leaves. So let's see, I'm going to get red here. I'm just going to color one of my ladybugs. Because you know how to color. I don't have to show you how to color anymore. By now, you're probably an expert, so you're going to very carefully color in neatly. You want to color in the same direction. One thing I failed to mention last week when we did our shark is sometimes when you color really close to that black crayon line, sometimes it will smear some of that black into your red. That's okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine. You just keep coloring. Try not to smear it. If it smears, it's okay. Now mine's not smearing because I'm on a computer. So you're like, I want to use a computer. How come Mr. Smith gets to use a computer? Don't worry, you can use computers when you go to middle school. Or maybe your parents have some art programs on your iPad. It's kind of hard to use an iPad, but we have iPad art, so you can definitely do that when you get older, and it's pretty fun. I'm using a home computer. It's easier because the screen is bigger. Okay, so I'm coloring in my ladybug here. I'm not going to color the other guy because it's going to be the same. So you know how to color. Now let's draw that. Let's color the leaf though. So how are we going to do that leaf? Well, we're going to use a green crayon. So let's see. I'm going to use this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to very carefully try to draw a leaf edge line. And our ladybugs are on, you can kind of see in this picture here, our ladybugs are on the edge of the leaves because they want to, they're kind of close to each other. So watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to very carefully draw my line, my leaf edge. Oops, I drew into them a little bit. So there's that leaf. It's just a curvy line. So he's on the edge of this leaf, right? And then this ladybug, he's on this other leaf. So I'm going to draw it. Now it's gonna bend the other way. Watch, you'll see. So it kind of bends like this, right? And then it kind of bends that way. And then you can color that in green. I'm not going to color it all in. It's going to, well, let's see. So I'm going to color that in green. Now, while I color this in green, let's talk about these colors. Red and green are complementary colors. Now, what's a complementary color, you ask? Complementary color is an opposite color. So, and basically they're like on the opposite sides of the color wheel, and they look really good together. So the complement of red is green. Red is the complement of green. And you might be familiar with red and green colors like Christmas, and they use it a lot. So those are complements. They're the opposites, and they look good together. Opposites look good together. There. So we got complementary colors. So the first week we learned about secondary colors, orange, green, and purple, right? And then the second week when we did triangles, our shark, we did primary colors, yellow, blue, and red, right? And then today we're talking about complementary colors. Complementary colors are colors that look good together. They are opposites. So red and green are complementary colors. Yellow and purple are complementary colors, like the Lakers. And orange and blue are, are complementary colors. A lot of sports teams use complementary colors because they're kind of, they're opposites and they're kind of like action. You use complementary colors to create a visual action, and it looks pretty neat. So red and green are complementary colors. You're going to color in your leaves, you're going to color in your ladybugs. Parents, you can take a picture of your students' art and you can just email it to me so I can see their awesome progress and have fun doing it. We ran out of weeks. I thought maybe we would have a fourth week, but it doesn't seem like we're having much school that last week. So I'm going to give you an optional project that you don't have to do for the fourth project. It's optional, and I'll film that, and then you can just choose if you want to do it. It's going to be a cover for our 3 shape pages. Okay? But have fun coloring your ladybugs, and I'll see you next time. Bye!